Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Copper Rock Real Estate. Commercial and residential real estate in the Mid-Willamette Valley. CopperRockRealty.com. Independent merchant brokers. Low cost and no cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Join Boson Hub Digital Development in supporting Kicking Cancer. Kicking Cancer provides support, education, and resources for cancer patients, survivors, and families. Kicking-cancer.org. More than just a home, the Arbor at Avamere Court in Kaiser. Arbor at AvamereCourt.com. Assisted living at Avamere at Albany. AvamereAtAlbany.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Experts in luxury home sales, farm and ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. On the web at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Ba-da-da.
Da-da-da, here we are, everybody. Welcome to the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. We are celebrating today. Go Beavs. Okay, they're looking good. Baseball rolling through the postseason and looking for another win today to keep moving on. Scott, did you catch any of the games yesterday?
I didn't, but been tracking them. They have a shot. They just got to do what they know what to do. You look like you're all dressed to be the first base coach, though. So
there you go. I am ready. I'm ready. My niece, who is just graduating from Oregon State, she is in sports marketing, and she is running all of the marketing for the baseball games. So she is working with all of the TV and the people during the, all the stuff they do during the game. So yeah, a lot of fun.
This is one of the great things about being at a Division I college, right?
Yes.
Is that kind of experience could set her up for her career, open those doors.
Yeah, it has been a total blessing. It's something that people should learn from the wonderful, amazing guests we have on this show, that what you do does exactly what Scott says, sets you up for what comes in the future. And one beautiful thing for her is that not only has she got to do basketball, football, baseball, gymnastics, all of those things at Oregon State, but she just got hired by the Blazers. Oh. So that was her first job out of college. So she's going to a professional basketball team right off the bat. So good start.
That's pretty exciting for her. Yeah. And again, just great opportunities. But I'm sure a part of it is her willingness to ask the question, can I do this? Would you hire me for that?
Exactly. No, it's so true. It's something for everybody to listen to Scott. You can do amazing things. You can. And Scott, speaking of amazing things, what's happening in your world?
Well, I was just thinking of our sponsors, and I'm grateful for all of our sponsors, but we've got a special promotion with Ironhead Roofing. And can you roll that video?
You got it. Thank you, Ironhead Roofing, our new gift sponsor for this special $500 off a new roof. Take advantage today.
And how do people take advantage?
Well, I tell you, it's as simple as making a comment today. Today is Monday, June 2nd. You make a comment today in this show, whether it's live or during replay. Mm-hmm. If you're listening on radio on KWIL in Albany, that will also air tonight at 6 p.m. You're listening there. All you got to do is go to our websites and look up the Experience Local, make a comment where the show was. You can do it on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And all you do is make a comment. It qualifies you for the $500 off a new roof. We had a winner last week. And I'm telling you, who doesn't want $500 off their roof, right, Scott?
Well, I tell you, sometimes it could be one of those little extras that you want. You say, you know what, I would do it, but $400 or $500 is a chunk of money. Now you can get the added, you can get the extra. You can get some extra vents or flashing. I don't know, whatever.
There you go.
Get a skylight. I tell you, one of the things that we did on our house was put in one of those solar tube skylights. Middle of the house, far from the windows. What a huge difference that made.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I mean, natural lighting, great thing. So if you are interested in that and you're in the local area, which is from Portland to Eugene, the coast to the mountains, you definitely want to take advantage of this. And speaking of local people doing amazing things, we have Kevin Coriano today, and he is a repeat guest because he has got so much value, personal care, good health, healing motion, and we're going to talk to him today about that. But before we do, Scott, just want to remind everybody, you want to find out more about our show here on the Experience Local Live with Russ and Scott, all you got to do is go to, there you go, the local.theexperience.video. I was going to find it sooner or later, local.theexperience.video. If you're listening online in podcast format or on the radio, you can still jot that down, local.theexperience.video. If you know the name of the show, it's pretty simple, and go straight there. Information about Scott and I, about this show, about our other flagship show on Wednesdays, and all the things that Scott is doing amazingly in Waco, the Waco experience, and things here in Oregon. Would love for you to do that. You can also go straight to our YouTube page at theexperience.video. The experience.video is our YouTube page. Would love for you to do that as well. So I'm looking forward to just more people getting involved, right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy. Local.theexperience.video. Go there. And you can also get copies of books that Russ and I have and send those off to friends that you have. Be the hero. But with that, I think we should get back into our guest.
Oh, I think so too, because I'm excited about our conversation today, and we're going to get him in to get it started. Everybody, drum roll. Brrr, welcome, Kevin Coriano. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Kevin is a good example that people, and this is a positive, everybody, so please take this right. Kevin is a perfect example of people that are my children's age being more knowledgeable about things that I need than I am. Kevin is actually the exact same age as my daughter. And it's a great thing because he is my physical therapist, everybody. And it is for good reason, because he takes good care of me and has had to do a lot of work on me to keep me moving. So anyway, Kevin, give us a little insight for those who missed your previous episode. Who is Kevin Coriano? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm a physical therapist here in Salem with Healing Motion PT. And yeah, we've been around for almost 3 years now here in Salem. We kind of branched out from the main clinics in Corvallis and Philomath. And yeah, we've been slowly building the practice. We have 2 other physical therapists with us. And yeah, it's just been a blast to grow it. And the nice thing about how we treat is that we see patients one-on-one for 45 minutes. So it's really individualized and personable. And so it's a great experience, not just for the patient, but also as a physical therapist. So
hey, Scott, I'm going to jump in real quick
Russ,
and cut you off for just a second, because Kevin, I want you to talk before Scott comes in too about how seriously you take your personal motion and care seriously. You just ran a couple big races, and so you're doing some big things. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I joke around that I became a PT because I hurt myself a lot. I ran in college at Corbin, and it was always like, and so I decided to be a PT to basically treat myself and figure out what I needed. But yeah, I've been blessed to run a few races this year. I did the Eugene Marathon, and the Corvallis Half. And then yesterday I just did the Newport Marathon. So it's funny to show patients some exercises today because I'm hobbling around. Yeah, that's a really cool thing about Healing Motions, that they really emphasize on the health and well-being of their employees. So when we did the Eugene, there was probably 6 or 7 other employees that did the Eugene, and it was just fun to do that together. Same with the Corvallis Half, like we all did it together. So they try and make sure that you have it's emphasized as far as that physical well-being of that being addressed. And not saying like you have to be active as a PT, but it's kind of also kind of leading as an example of like, hey, like you got to put in the work to do these sorts of things. And I have to tell patients, I have to do a lot of PT exercises if I want to keep my knees going. I just can't jump up and go for a run. You have to put a little work into it.
And anyone that's been on the Corbin campus knows there's no flat ground over there. So it's just a workout getting around there. I was thinking of the verse says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And talk about your faith and how it integrates with taking care of the human body.
It's amazing how adaptable our bodies are. And I feel like that is something that I feel like God has kind of placed it into us. Like he tells us, like, treat it as a temple. Because when you like invest in your body, like it can do amazing things. And of course we're also, not perfect. And so we have to kind of put in the work to do those kind of things. And so that's why I love running and working out, because a lot of times people feel like they're limited by a diagnosis or like an injury in the past. And it's an amazing job to kind of walk people through that of like, no, like we might not be able to run a marathon. We might not be able to do X, Y, and Z, but let's try and like fit in some goals that would be appropriate as far as like where you're at, and not putting a cap on that. And so, I think it's amazing to see, like when you do a race, like you see people of all shapes and sizes and ages of kind of getting at it, and just people encouraging each other to kind of go through it too. And as like a healthcare provider, and as we went through PT school, it was just amazing to see how we're created and how intricate our bodies are. Like if you just look at the nervous system or the eye, like it is just so detailed and intricate that it's hard to just think that it just manifested like that. It is amazing what the body can do.
Well, God is good and the body is amazing. You're right. And it takes more faith to believe we were not created by an amazing God than it does to just magically poof happened, because it's just too intricate. But so you and I, Kevin, solve all the world's problems, and we talk about all the sports issues every time I'm in there. And you're a very active guy, but talk a little bit about your family, because I've learned a little bit about your wonderful wife and kids, and just a little bit about how important they are in your life, in your faith journey, and how it relates to what you do with work and all of that as well. And I know that your wife is in education, and so, it's a matter of, supporting each other, all of that. But talk a little bit about how important that is.
Yeah, we're really blessed to have 3 boys, ages 7, 6, and 3. We definitely don't take it for granted, because we had 10 different doctors tell my wife that she'll never get pregnant. So they're definitely blessings for sure. Our oldest is named River because we picture him as a little river of life, because my wife just pictured herself as a desert. But he was just a river of life going through that. So we're blessed to have the 3 boys, and they're awesome. To the point where we thought we would be done at 3. But after praying about it and thinking about it, we we tried for the fourth, and we're expecting a fourth in November. And so we're really excited for whatever that might be. We don't know if it's a girl or boy. We won't find out till the end, but it's just really cool and obviously there's challenges when you're parenting. I think it's cool how God always uses the church or his people as like, they regard it as their children. Like he loves us like unconditionally, no matter what. We make mistakes, but yet we're loved, and guiding us through those mistakes, and of like understanding that to a certain degree when you're parenting your own kids. So how do you navigate those kind of things, and how do you be unselfish or locked in, like even though you had a long day? And it's rewarding, like when you invest in that. And like I put in my, like we do like weekly reports and every week with work. And my highlight last week was my 3-year-old has gotten in the habit every time I get home, he goes, "How was work, Dad?" And he seems genuinely interested. And it just like melts your heart. You're like, oh my gosh, how was my day, Ezra? Like, let me tell you. And then I ask him. So yeah, they're really sweet. And yeah, so we're really, really excited for the fourth. And obviously my wife is a huge part of all of that. She's a great mom, great wife, and really invested in our kids. And I guess the big thing right now that we are really blessed with is that we have found a really awesome community in our church, as far as a small group, as far as other believers in the kind of same walk of life with kids about the same age. And that's been huge, as far as like having accountability, other parents to mount, like, and just support. And so I feel like community and family have been like two big things that have been in our lives for the past year. So yeah,
I like the old school gender reveal party there, where it's in the birth room.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Right. That's just very old school. Oh, it's a boy. Yeah. It's a girl. Yeah. All right. Very
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. The human body hasn't changed, but I think the science around understanding motion, joints, some of the theories have changed. Mm-hmm. What kind of things are you seeing on that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because I feel like the healthcare system's always evolving and changing. Like what they might have done 10 years ago is considered snake oil and
right,
and like
exactly
crazy. So, which is tough as a consumer, as a patient, because you're like, well, what is real? And so, I think the cool thing, I went to George Fox for PT school, and they just pounded it into our heads on reading research and kind of finding loopholes in any kind of research or new treatment approach or training plan. And so I'm like fortunate to kind of read those studies of like, oh, it looks like, is infrared light and red light therapy, is that legit? Is that a hoax? Or so that, yeah, there's a lot of different things. And so I actually do enjoy that as a job.
And is red light any good? Is that?
Yeah. So that's a good question. That's one I kind of go back and forth about, just because there hasn't been that much evidence on it, but there has been a growing support into supporting red light and infrared light therapy. But with something like that, I tell people you have to do all the other low-hanging fruit of like, how's your physical, mental health, sleep, diet, all those other things. If you're not addressing those, then throwing a light on you isn't going to fix your chronic pain or other things. So I should tell people like some of those things will help to a certain degree, but they see like professional athletes getting it done, and they're like, oh, then it must be good for me. I'm like,
I'll just say before Russ jumps in, I'll just say it reminds me back in my days of mountain bike racing, when people were out spending too much money on like titanium bolts for their water cage, right? To say like a gram, right? And it's like, you might just do an extra mile on the training or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's so true. But it's tough because you see influencers or professional athletes use some of these things. And you're like, oh, well, I should be doing this or that. And I'm like, well, that's their job, is to sell things. And also that's their job to work out like all day. So it's not going to be translatable to the everyday person. So, but I do love it. I love kind of educating patients on the things that are true or false. And so I really geek out on running and running rehab. And so they had like a Q&A with a local running club a couple weeks ago. And at first I was like, okay, we'll see how many questions we have. Oh no, there was a ton of questions about running, because you don't know. You're like told, oh, this works, or this shoe works. And so I think in the end of the day, you want to like make sure you're not like wasting patients' money and time, along with just education on like, you might need to do other things to change stuff. But that's a great question.
Yeah, well, you and I have talked many times about things that I should be doing, and sometimes I'm good at it and sometimes not so good, besides just coming in and having the actual therapy. And there's so many things that we need to work into kind of lifestyle. I think that's so true with Jesus and our faith and everything, that we need to work the lifestyle that we really want and we love, and we need to go after that. And I think that if we don't take care of ourselves, Kevin, we can't take care of our wife and our kids and all the things that are so precious to us that God has given us. So it's really important to get a good physical therapist, to get, especially when you're having challenges, to take good care of yourself, to exercise and stretch and do all the things you need to do in life. And so you had mentioned a while back that you started because of your own injuries. That's what got you interested in physical therapy. Were you planning to be an NBA star before that, or what was your goal before that?
If only I didn't tear my meniscus, I would have gone all the way. No. No, the question was like, what was the plan as far as like if I didn't get hurt, like, or is that, sorry, Russ?
It was just talk about what you were dreaming is your future.
Oh, dreaming. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. I fortunately had a great running career in high school. And so I was able to like represent my state for Alaska and all of that. And and so I definitely had aspirations of like running D1, as far as like, I had a scholarship at Liberty University all the way in Virginia. And I chickened out because I'm from Alaska and that was too far away for me. And so I looked at West Coast things. And but I had so many injuries in college that never came to fruition. And it was a tough pill to swallow, because it's just frustrating of not only being hurt, but like, I know I'm faster than this. And it was like a big like heart change, as far as like what God kind of put into my heart, that, hey, running is just running. Like, that's kind of your idol at this point. Just to kind of let go of that, and that expectation of like, there's other things. So it was really good to kind of let go of that like frustration and all of that. And to now, like yesterday I ran that marathon and I could have done better, but I was just like, I just told myself I'm just happy to be running it and just blessed to be able to run. And something stuck out to me in PT school, because I had so many injuries and my knees were always shot, that I'm like, I'm just gonna have a knee replacement when I'm 50, and I'm gonna have to do something else like swim or bike and never run again. But one of our professors at George Fox, she's a believer, and we were talking about running, and she was like, we're meant to run, we're meant to move, you're meant to do so many things. You might have to do X, Y, and Z to keep it going. But it was kind of like this light bulb moment of like, you're right, like I can keep enjoying it. I just might have to adjust my expectations, and making sure that is this like run, or is this game or that I'm about to play for basketball, is this for me, or is it for God, or is it like, what is it for, as far as where that glory is kind of going to. So
Scott?
Oh, I was letting you go. I know we're starting to run down time here. So.
We are. You're right. And so I'm so sorry. Yes, I need to be I want to be the responsible host here and jump in and say, yeah, I got lost on the time there for a moment. But you know what, Kevin? So much great information today. So we want to wrap things up and have you give us your gold nugget of what you really want people to remember from our discussion today, and let everybody know how they get in touch with you and Healing Motion. And let us know where all your offices are and all of that.
Yeah. As far as a gold nugget, I tell patients all the time, motion is lotion. Even when things are hurting, try and move in any kind of degree, whether like just try not to just sit and kind of dwell on it. Just try and do something as far as obviously cross off any red flags. If you have like a fractured like hip, then probably take it easy. But if those things are clear, just try and move. And so that's always been my motto of motion is lotion. I want to get in like big bold letters in the gym, in the clinic for everybody to really to get that nailed into their heads. But yeah, as far as where you can find Healing Motion Physical Therapy, we're here in Salem. We're on Vista and Commercial Street, like right across from Five Guys and Roth's. The other clinics, there's one in North Albany, Corvallis, Philomath, and then and Eugene. And then Corvallis just opened up a pelvic wellness center where it's just focusing on pelvic floor therapy. They just opened about 2 months ago. And so they saw it as a big need. And but as far as if you ever want to get a hold of us, our phone number here is 971-301-6225. So, yeah.
Say that one more time. Give us the phone number one more time.
Yes, 971-301-6225.
Awesome.
Here we go.
We'll get that added. And you know what, Kevin? Amazing. So thankful for you. It's so important, everybody. Think about your personal health. And, you know, we focus on what local amazing people, believers in business are doing here in the Willamette Valley and in the Waco Valley. We are, always looking for God's amazing lights. And Kevin, you're one of those. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Oh, you bet. We're going to say goodbye for today, but hang tight for just 1 second and we'll talk to you on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Good to see you again.
Bye.
All right. See ya. Okay, there we go. Phone number's up there now, 971-301-6225 here in the Salem area. And Scott, amazing conversation.
Yeah, motion is lotion. That's good to remember. Hey, and speaking of remember, I want to remind people, make a comment anytime today and be entered in for that $500 coupon for a roof with Ironhead Roofing, the most trusted roofing company in Oregon. And it's also veteran owned.
Yes, it is. It's so definitely a win-win. And so definitely take advantage of that. Share this with your friends and let them know, whether you're watching live right now or whether you're watching on replay, it does not matter. You can still comment. So thank you for doing that. And just want to remind everybody that we are here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time. You can find out more information about us on the experience or local.theexperience.video. That's local.theexperience.video, or go straight to our YouTube page and subscribe today at theexperience.video. We would love it if you would. And Scott, what do you got to close us out?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, welcome to June. It's hard to believe, but here we are. We're midway through the year, heading right into summer. I hope everyone has plans, but as you go out and you're traveling around or someone is traveling near you, get together face to face. It's fun to be in rooms like this digitally, but connect with people face to face when you can.
That's right. And make sure you enjoy life and enjoy
the experience locally.
Woohoo! See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.